So there's one problem. Did it align your bite before?
It did.
So something's whacked there.
And then what about this? That's kind of looking fun.
So slide it around. Yeah, remove the model. Just look at the phone for a second.
At this point, I'm just about ready to rescan and start off.
Well, I just want to see because I want to know. It's a little interesting that
I'd cement that in place.
All right.
it's doing something funny. It's changing that spot.
Dr. Tucker, what are you trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to figure out why his scan isn't lining up. Let's just jack everything up on this one.
So what's the idea behind the different colors?
This is the bite scan, and this is the scan of his model. So for some reason, it didn't put them together. Self-intersection. So let's go way forward here. Make it skip all the next steps. Let's just see what happens here.
Cement it. So I think that's the ultimate compliment. Is that good?
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
What are the contours that you have?
I have it right on the marginal ridge. I'm not gonna go back.
Yeah, that's all.
I have it right on the marginal ridge here, and then right on this tip.
Awesome.
Okay.
Looks really good.
I just need to save it, and then you can use this.
Gabrielle, are you done?
Yeah.
Because I'm at that point right now where I'm trying to decide.
Pretty.
There you go.
What happened? What'd you do?
I fixed it.
Well,
Sometimes we don't know.
okay, that's
Sometimes we don't know.
Belly a little bit for you, but that is your minimal
'cause that's
reduction. So you
right.
gotta cover that. So you're gonna have to pull that out just a little bit,
keep going, keep going.
and then you may just have to take that smoothing tool down here and kind of reduce the belly.
Really? Because that belly's very distinct, huh?
But that's just because
It's just
So-
it's just over contouring.
could be two things. It could be you didn't have a good second plane bevel,
Okay.
right, on your prep, so that corner's sticking out right there.
Shoot.
That's fine.
What if I tilted this?
You can tilt it. Do whatever you want.
No, it's not. Because I need to get.
But I would usually, so I would do just what you just did and line up the cusps. So I would leave that alone, and then I would end up producing this. So this tool,
Here, go for it if you want to.
that tool, the second tool over
This right
there,
here?
the morphing tool.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put it. So let me just try
Wow.
it for you just for a second.
I see.
So
that kind
you
of-
got a little belly, right?
Yeah.
But instead of reducing the whole thing, you can kind of grab this and kind of shrink just that area.
Oh, that's nice.
So that keeps your anatomy there, but just kind of shrinks things a little bit.
Do that on my stomach?
I can,
Yeah, just scan your stomach. Just scan your stomach over here.
as long as it's in the scanner. So then the other tool is this smoothing tool, right? And this is how big the dot is, and this
Oh.
is how strong it is. So you can also take that down there and kind of see how that just took away all those little funky margins,
Yeah.
ledges.
As far as what about changing the model itself of the tooth? Because it looks a little, in my opinion, this looks a little jagged for the surrounding typodont teeth. You know how the grooves are very pronounced.
So the other thing you can do, and we haven't gone over this. This is new. You got it filming? Are you filming?
We're there.
So there's the Smile Library. You can click on the Smile Library right here.
Okay.
You gotta wait for it for a second.
Take a while. Okay.
This is like when I'm done.
and it'll give
Now
you
we're talking.
tons of options. You can scroll. There's hundreds of teeth in here that you can all choose what you want your tooth to look like.
Wow. Why are some darker than the others?
It's just different wax, like who created
Oh,
it, where it got
right.
created. So you can go through there and create whatever anatomy you want.
Are these all from real patients?
No, these are from lab technicians usually.
Only save it is.
Really?
Yeah, like there's some that are called Culp. That's Lee Culp. He's a really famous prosthodontic lab technician.
And so he's just developing all these crowns to try to match.
Culp. So this is a really old tooth that's really worn away. The anatomy's gone. Here's a younger tooth that's kind of a little more firm. Here's kind of a middle-aged tooth. I don't necessarily like his. They're real flat.
Wow, yeah.
But you could definitely choose one that you feel like fits in better with your typodont.
Right.
So that's where that's at.
And it would
That's
look a little
new.
more natural.
You're gonna have something new nobody else has ever done.
That smile design.
All right.
Smile composer right here.
Smile composer. And you hit the
And then
X.
it'll-
How do you pull that up?
I just clicked on it.
Oh, this. Oh, okay.
So the smile composer is the whole thing, but the smile library, click on that little button right there.
This one here?
Yeah. Does it do anything? Because it's in the. It wants you to choose a tooth. So once you choose
Oh,
a tooth,
I see.
then it'll.
So once I've done this,
Yeah.
then
But
it'll-
that's more of a.
So this is the one that's right here. This right here.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It looks like the default, kind of. Looks like it.
But it obviously moved it back to where you're gonna have to adjust it again.
Right.
But you got to choose.
But
a
hey,
tooth.
we can choose the
You can choose
anatomy.
whatever you want.
That's nice. That's very nice. Great, thank you.
There's 100.
Oh, there's different. Yeah, I don't know if there's actually 100, but there's
a lot.
Oh yeah. Sir.
Question is,
Oh, you had a fun one
why
too.
is the crown upside down?
Good question.
Yeah.
So it probably means you skipped a step somewhere. Because it just kind of randomly put it somewhere crazy. So more than likely, all the way back here at the first step.
I don't think he should pass with the crown upside down.
So that's okay.
If you want to move like a lot, so on top of that, see this green circle?
Fine.
That's the area you're affecting. So if you want to affect less area, I would like turn it down. So I could go like,
Can you right click on this, for example, and just see what it gives you?
all of this.
Did you do any of that?
This stuff, I don't think. I was told just to next all the way through.
Did you do the occlusal thing like I just did? Or no?
Sorry, I didn't see what you did.
The larger area of the tooth.
Let's see if it fixed it.
So if you want to make like, say this whole cusp bigger, you'd want it like that.
So this is your insertion axis, right?
Yeah.
So one thing we're looking at, we're not only looking at your crown, you're also looking at your interproximal contact. See how you can't see your interproximal there and you see like a lot there? So you gotta like line it up to where the space is pretty even and then hit set.
I'm a little bit concerned about this contact here.
This one?
There's your insertion direction. This is asking for your margin, which you've already done. The nice thing about this program is it saves what you've done, right?
As you go.
Yeah. So if you ever, so like when I clicked way back here and I kind of restarted things, it saved everything.
Weird happened with
I do.
Oh yeah.
But it's on a slope of your
That's what I was seeing. I bet it's beneath.
Does that make sense?
Then, see how you have a plus, a minus.
Please place it closer to the mark.
You got two.
So the minus obviously just takes
Does
away.
that make sense?
So for whatever reason,
You can change the speed.
Did you work on this?
So everything would click like
Ah, there.
a certain
Never
amount,
mind.
right?
It's okay.
Now it's right side up.
Change that here. Sometimes it's also backwards. But like,
You can open it
you can just spray it. Like you're doing a spray can, right?
so I just wanted
so I
to,
can just.
Now you've got
you can get it close. Did you see those instructions that it had on there?
Yeah.
It said get it close.
add is the same thing.
So I'm wondering how we,
How do we?
And then the one thing
I'm not
that
sure.
I added here.
See how that white thing was on there? That's what we want. There you go.
Oh, okay, nice.
But it should be at your margin, so maybe it's not all the way there yet.
Yeah.
So I just maybe get it close and go back and forth.
See how it thinks your margin's somewhere funky. It should be going all the way down. Yeah, it should be attached there. So let's see. Let's go back here a little bit.
We had that same thing on Talon's where his wasn't down on the margin.
So that's basically how this all works. And then as far as like undoing these, Control Z and does everything you do.
This is my snag gap a little narrow
So
at
you
0.3.
did a bunch of stuff now.
There, so it went all the way down to ours in
Come
there.
in here and say
I think
like,
you're done, that's
And
good.
that's perfect. Like occlusion is spot on.
That's it.
You get used to it.
Occlusion is spot on.
Awesome. It'll wear in.
Thank you. We need to increase that vertical.
That will put you back in like a mode where you can change.
You can change the, okay. So hit I was afraid to hit redesign, that's what I wasn't sure of.
On
So
the redesign.
it actually is redesigned to pull it up.
Something's bad, yeah. Then you hit the. You're talking about on the
Well,
drop-down menu.
what had happened is, but he went to next and it lost it, and so they've had the, where he pulled up his file, his original file, we right-clicked, and one of the options was redesign. I was a little bit afraid to hit that for fear it might erase what he'd done.
So if you hit that redesign button, it will save everything you've done, but you have to go click through every step. So you just keep clicking next, and
Okay,
it'll take you all the way to where you were.
okay.
If you hit auto redesign, the third one down, it'll automatically take you all
So
the
where
way to
you
where
left
you
off.
Yeah.
So auto redesign is the one.
And then you
to
don't have to
revisit.
click.
So
next.
auto redesign's the best one to click.
Yes.
If you're not all the way done, yes. If you're all the way done and you want to change something, then you got to hit redesign
Okay.
so that you can stop when you want to and change things.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll take you all the way to the end every time.
To this.
Okay.
Then
You
I'm
could
good.
redesign it from either one, but you may have a lot of
Yes.
backtracking to do from the, okay,
Correct.
from auto.
Okay. This is it. Got my contacts. Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to enforce it? We're going to click yes.
Go to this, hit save.
So what it did, hold on a second.
Because it's asking me what he talked about.
So what it did is filled it all in. I don't know if you can see it, but what we'll do is go back here and turn this on. This is your minimal thickness. And then you're gonna have to just add some contacts in this area. You can either do it with this wax tool with the add, or you can use that morph tool. It's a little smaller, but it'll keep your anatomy. I like the morph tool.
See how we kind of toned it down a little bit,
That's
so
the
it's not.
size.
Yeah.
So if I leave it way up big, it's gonna change like the entire, do you see that green circle? So, but if I tone it way down here, it's just gonna change that little area, and I wanna change it even littler than that. So I wanna go put it on there, and I'm just gonna drag it up a little
so if
bit.
you wanna do the whole,
We'll zoom in,
like that whole thing,
see how it just takes, so it leaves my kind of anatomy in there, and then you can kind of fill in those areas without ruining all your contacts and everything else that you've done.
whoa, 192.
All right, I'll let you
Very good.
Now, what's your problem?
So
The contour is over contoured Buckley and under contoured Lingually. And it won't let me auto place it to get close to designing it.
So yours is doing something funky right now. So it's on auto placement, right?
Yeah, I tried to.
What do you want me to call the file?
It's got all sorts of weirdness going on to it.
Number 19 crown.
Yours has got like a pregnant belly. And we'll turn on minimal thickness.
Oh, I added.
I'm not sure what in the world's going on with yours.
Go ahead and just open it up and make sure.
Other than it looks weird, it's wonderful.
Yeah, clinically acceptable, right?
Wouldn't go that far. Here, let's try something crazy here. So we're gonna go to Smile Library. We're just gonna change the tooth design. So this is kind of the default tooth, but you can change what kind of tooth you want in there. So I'm gonna try to like make the system rethink it a little bit.
Let's do it.
So we're just gonna click on one and then click OK. So it's got minimal thickness on there. It's gonna repropose the crown. Still did like some weird. Yours is funky. That's like into the other tooth. But see, there's a problem here because I'm telling it to show us where contacts are, and none of them are showing up.
Is it maybe this computer?
It shouldn't be the computer, but what we may need to do is go back to like something like this, and then close it, and then reopen it, and hopefully it resets it.
I'm down.
Because there's not really. It's kind of just a weird. Yours is just doing something weird because it's not showing me my contacts. Is your opposing model in there?
Could be, yeah, I scanned them.
I'm gonna go way back here and look at. So it obviously did something a little funky.
What?
Is this your bite?
Oh, are you busy right now?
Yeah, that was the opposing arch.
Oh, okay, could you actually help us in the other room? We need help identifying.
Looking upside down.
See if it fixes it. There we go. There we go.
That's looking a lot better.
So that's the second one that I've reset. For some reason, I've reset the bite and then it fixes it. So let's hope. I'm gonna kind of zoom through all these just to make sure.
Go over, what did you do to reset the bite?
So I went all the way back up here where we're adjusting and trimming the model, and I went to a line bite, and the bite was all jacked up. So then I aligned the bite like it told me to in the instructions, and it put them back together like it was supposed to. And on both of the previous ones, it's fixed the problem. I don't know why the bite was off. So now we just gotta wait a second and let it kind of get through everything here. So it messed up your margin. Because, okay, so this is where your margin was in that other bite, so you're gonna have to redo it.
That's totally fine.
So yeah, just redo your margin and go forward, and it should
block that
propose it
crown
all.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, what's wrong with yours now?
Everything. I have no idea.
So this is the new one. I'm gonna play with the new one. Didn't go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to it. S-O-N.
So when you make a copy, is that like starting it all over again?
Yes, but what I'm going to do with this copy is I'm going to delete the design out of that copy. So it's pretty much like we're starting all over. See that little wand? So it's like you're starting all over.
That's totally fine. It's gonna be faster.
But let's go back and make sure that it merged it right. See how it skipped all the bite alignment and everything else?
So you're trying to choose the same corresponding point on both of those.
You just got to get close.
Okay. Ballpark it.
Or should we just have like light?
I don't know what edge you're talking about.
Come take a look here. So like these guys here?
You want that means you have contact.
Okay, so I've got these.
So that was the problem with yours in the beginning. So it takes you automatically to occlusal alignment. It assumes that you got everything else right.
Gotcha.
But for whatever reason, your bite was off. The scan didn't import it right. Something happened.
Okay.
That's happened to a few people, hasn't it?
Yeah. And so now we're refining. We're just gonna hit. Well, we'll just select all. Normally it just takes you past this, but I just want to go back and make sure it's all closed. He's got it again. Didn't I just fix that?
Hey Adam, I like that texture.
Yeah, what happened? I thought we fixed it.
What?
I thought we fixed it.
It was on backwards still.
Oh, jeez.
You love being the troubleshooting guy.
That's
Starting a
fine.
new trend. We're doing 3 cuts on the lingual from now on.
Right.
Works.
We're gonna see if we can get evolution to catch up to that. Place crowns on everything.
Oh, so that's how you do it.
You're making
I was
me
like,
dizzy.
How did you get all those on there?
Oh my gosh. Dude.
It's like really high too.
Let's see my first one.
Medium to soft.
All right, so that's done. Our occlusal alignment looks fine. We don't need to trim. So I'm gonna click all the way down here. And I'm gonna click next. Your margin line has it on there, right? We all see it. You can always go back. I just want to make sure it's gonna propose it.
That part's easy. So do you do the margin within this or this die thing? Because previously it wouldn't even let me progress from that die cut thing.
Let's look here. So that first margin was here's the margin where you adjust it.
That's the one.
Yeah. You can kind of drag it. You can
Just kind of get it
Move it. If you click on this margin line, it'll let you do a lot of things to it. But let's assume it's good.
Yep.
So I put it in an undercut. Do you want to go forward? No. So I'm just gonna quickly put it up here. It's on an undercut over there, so we're gonna turn this off here for a second. We're gonna drag it right across there.
Man, you got a steady hand pulling it that far. I can go like a centimeter.
Well, once you've done this a bunch of times, let's see if it'll let us go now.
And yo.
Wait for it.
Okay, it's looking way better.
Are all the
than it
cusps
did.
in the right place? Yes.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so go back and adjust your margin,
Okay.
and then go forward.
So what
Great,
was his
thank you.
problem? What were you?
I have no idea. That's why I
Oh.
deleted everything. I made a copy of it, and I started over.
All right, all right.
Appreciate that. Time for another day.
So that's your minimum thickness.
Okay.
So you're invading into your prep right there. That's your prep.
Oh, I see.
So that's
Wow.
actually your prep.
So that
So you need to
means.
cover all that red that just showed up. No, so you just got rid of it. So
Right, right.
So you don't have to make it that dark, but so you can at least see where it needs to be, and then you can kind of
Lift it
So see
up.
how big that green circle is?
Yeah.
That's your influence that you're dragging. So you can always make it a lot smaller over here. So you're
Okay.
not dragging the whole central fossa. See how small the green
Yeah.
arrow is? So you may have made it too small there, but that'll let you adjust little areas instead of the whole tooth.
Right, and so you're saying I need to lift this up
Yep.
here? Okay. All right. And then, yeah.
So once that's all covered, then that, because if you tried to go forward right now, it would come up with an error and say your minimum thickness is not met.
Okay.
And one of the reasons for that is because the anatomy of this tooth is so severe, like it's got really big cusps and really big
Yeah.
grooves. You can always change that too in this Smile Composer or Smile Library, excuse me, this part right here. You can
Okay.
choose a different tooth, and that play button, go to the right.
This right here?
No, this one over here, that will drop down that.
This drop down or this?
That one.
Okay.
Now if you click on that, it'll come up with like a little box, and it's gonna have like tons of teeth. Just wait for it, it's thinking. It's gonna come up with a box and it'll have tons of teeth that you can choose a less severe anatomy.
Okay.
So you can scroll down through this
You still get that tornado
100
teeth?
teeth.
Yeah.
I'm square one. We started over. I think I figured it out. You have to
Grief, you
disconnect
can-
it from the margin and then
You got
spin it.
plenty. You ought to find one you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it?
We need to pick one that has like similar to the
Yeah.
type of dot, don't you?
Yeah, that would be the best.
I'm gonna go grab mine.
And that's what you do with the person too. Try to something like their teeth.